Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the latest release of DotNetNuke, version 6.2. Now you're going to need to download the latest release. You can do that from the download page or the download link here on DotNetNuke.com. And once you go to that page, it's actually going to prompt you to log in if you haven't logged in yet. You can go ahead and choose a couple of different download options. We're going to go ahead and use the install package, which is an option down below the red and the blue box. Though we're going to use the install package for DotNetNuke version 6.2. Currently, the official release is 6.1, but 6.2 will be coming out here in the next week or two. So what we do is we download that install package, and then we're going to need to actually access those particular files. Now for this installation, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a website using the domain name awesomecycles.biz. You can see I already have my DNS pointing that domain name to my local web server, and when I try to access it, I see this Iis 7 message, which is the default message you see when you access a website that hasn't been configured within an Iis web server. So our file is downloaded. Let's go ahead and switch over there, and you can see I have a DotNetNuke Professional Edition version 6.2 install package. Now what you would do from here is right click on that and choose Extract All within Windows, and that will extract that zip package into a folder. Now I've already done that, so I can go into the folder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the files in that folder by pressing Control A. I'm then going to right click and choose Copy within that folder. Now what we want to do is we want to choose a location where we're going to install this website. Now I have a folder already created on my C drive called Websites, and within that I have an awesomecycles.biz folder. I'm going to go ahead and navigate into that folder and paste the contents of that install package that we've downloaded and extracted. So this is putting the files for DotNetNuke into this awesomecycles.biz folder. Now the next step we need to perform is we need to go into the Iis Manager. Now you can get to Iis Manager by clicking on your Start menu, and within the Run window type in inetmgr, and that will load up this window. Now from here what we're going to go ahead and do is right click on the Sites option, and we're going to add a new website. We're going to call that website awesomecycles.biz. And you'll notice as we type in the name of the site, the application pool is also defined as awesomecycles.biz. We want to define the physical path for the website. Well, that is in the Websites awesomecycles.biz folder where we placed the DotNetNuke files. After that, we want to define the host name or the binding information for Iis for this particular website. I'm going to have the website bind to awesomecycles.biz. That will mean any requests that come into Iis using this URL will be sent to this particular website. Within Iis, you can host multiple websites, multiple domain names with multiple bindings. We're just creating one at this point. So we'll go ahead and click OK, and that will create the website there within the Sites node here in Iis. Now that we've created that website, we need to go back to our file system, and we need to configure the permissions on this particular website's folder. Now using Windows 7 here, the permissions are pretty straightforward. We're going to go to the Websites folder. We're going to right click on awesomecycles.biz. We're going to choose Properties, and we're going to then choose the Security tab. Now from here we need to click on the Edit button. We're going to click on Add, and we're going to add the user for our website in Iis. Now if your computer is part of a domain or an Active Directory domain, you need to click on the Locations button and choose your computer name instead of that domain. So I'll go ahead and do that. And now I can type in the name of our application pool in Iis. Now by default, Iis 7.5, which is in Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008 R2, will use an application pool name of Iis space app pool / and then the name of the site or the site name that you chose when you created the website in Iis. So in our case, that's going to be awesomecycles.biz. Now we can go ahead and verify that's the correct name by clicking on Check Names, and it goes out and it underlines that name, showing us that it found the account. From here, we'll go ahead and click OK. That user is now added into the security screen here. We'll go ahead and select that user, and we're going to give them modify control that allows this user to go ahead and create and delete files and folders within the awesomecycles.biz folder. Go ahead and click Apply, and then you can click OK to the remaining screens. Now at this point we've configured Iis, we've configured the file permissions on the file system. We're going to be utilizing SQL Express, so we don't actually need to perform any database steps. I already have SQL Express installed on this particular machine. Now if you don't have SQL Express installed, what I'd recommend is you go through that installation process. You can use Microsoft's Web Platform Installer or Web Matrix to install SQL Express. SQL Express is a free version of Microsoft SQL Server. Now that we've configured the website and the file system, if we go ahead and navigate back to our browser, and within the URL, we go ahead and refresh the page or click enter in the URL there, that will send another request back to the website. Now that we've configured that website, Iis is going to load up the files for DotNetNuke. And what we should see is an installation wizard here show up in just a moment. Now that first request to the website will take a few moments as it goes through and it compiles all of the code for DotNetNuke. Now once the installation wizard has appeared, you can see we're installing DotNetNuke version 6.2.0. We're using the professional edition, but the installation steps are exactly the same for the community edition of DotNetNuke when you're using the install package. Now from here we have three options: typical, custom, or auto. The simplest choice is just to choose auto. We're going to go ahead and use that option. And when we click on next, DotNetNuke will go through and complete all of the installation steps. What that's going to do is it's going to create our SQL Express database. It's going to run all of the SQL scripts to populate that database with the necessary information. DotNetNuke will then go out and install any extensions that are necessary. It's going to install the navigation provider, other types of providers. It's going to install some modules that are required within DotNetNuke. Now because we're using the professional edition, it will also install the HTML Pro module, the document library, commerce module, and a couple of the other professional edition only modules. If you were using community edition, you wouldn't get those DNN Pro modules installed. Now the installation might take a few moments as it goes through. What we're looking for is at the bottom of the screen. Once it's complete, we should get a complete message. You can see we have an option here. It says installation complete and a click here to access your site link. From here we can go ahead and click on the link and that will take us to our website. Now we've just installed DotNetNuke. A number of modules and extensions were installed, so it's going to take a moment as the site recompiles because of all that new code that was just installed. But what we should see here is our site's going to load up for the first time, and what I would encourage you to do is check out the next video in this DotNetNuke 6.2 playlist here on YouTube, and we'll talk about some of the features here within DotNetNuke 6.2.